Long ago, in ancient Persia, there lived a caliph named Shahraman, whose twin treasures were his palace gardens and his daughter, the princess Parazad. The princess loved to explore the endless garden paths, whose every turn disclosed new and lovely flowers, each more fragrant and colourful than the last. But of all the flowers, the princess was the most beautiful. So great was her delight with the marvellous gardens that she never tired of showering gifts on the old gardener and his son, Kamar. Both were tireless workers, tending each green sprig and every tiny bud with lavish care. The old gardener worked so hard because he loved the flowers. Kamar loved the princess. One day, in a distant corner of the garden, the princess and her handmaids came upon a large stone jar. "Princess, princess," said one of the girls, "the jar is sealed. Let us open it." Examining the top of the jar, the princess exclaimed, "It is sealed with the seal of Solomon." Kamar, who was spading nearby, offered a word of warning. "My lady," he said, "it is written that the King Solomon sealed evil spirits in just such a vessel." But the girls teased and teased until the princess gave her consent. With a sudden feeling of fear, she watched them break the seal and open the jar. A few wisps of blue smoke curled from the open mouth of the jar, then poof! A monstrous genie poured from the mouth of the jar. "I am Al-Ra'ad," he thundered. "For 700 years I have lain in this jar. Now, freed from the spell of King Solomon, I will take my revenge." Fearlessly, Kamar drew his spading fork like a spear, but quicker than the wink of an eye, the grinning genie caught up the terrified princess, and they vanished. The gardener's son ran to the palace, burst into the caliph's council chamber, and in a torrent of words told what had happened. Grief-stricken, the caliph promised the hand of Parazad in marriage to her rescuer. The news spread quickly. Long before sundown, a gallant expedition set out from the palace. Warriors in shining armour, merchant princes richly clothed, foreign kings in colourful costume rode out to seek the evil genie. They rode on heavy-muscled jumpers, fleet white Arabians, and even tall, ungainly camels. They bore heroic weapons, lances of oak, swords of Damascus steel, and jewelled double-edged daggers. Last of all to leave the palace grounds was Kamar, the gardener's son, afoot and carrying a sharp-toothed spading fork. Just at sunset in the desert country outside the city walls, Kamar met a traveller. The traveller called out, "Alms, for the love of Allah! The others have passed me by without parting with a single coin. A copper is all I ask." "Alas, I have no money," said Kamar, sitting beside the old man, "but half my loaf of bread shall be yours." After they had eaten the last crumb, the traveller spoke. "Kamar, son of Ahmed, the gardener, you have shared your only loaf with Salim, the magician. In return, I give you this carpet and rope. With them, you can rescue the princess Parazad." Kamar did not know what to do or say. He could only look at the tiny carpet that Salam rolled out on the sand, and at the fragile silver rope. How could he conquer a genie with those? Seeing the doubt on his face, Salam spoke once more. "Stand on the carpet and say to it, 'Fly.'" Kamar stepped onto the carpet, and in a trembling voice he said, "Fly?" Instantly the carpet floated off the ground and hung in mid-air. Kamar fell to his knees, gripping the fringe of the carpet and gazing at the ground below in amazement. The magician called up to him, "You see, Kamar, it is a magic carpet. It will take you through the air to any place you name. The silver rope, too, is enchanted. But let me warn you, there is a charm that can defeat the rope, so cast it with speed of lightning before the genie can utter a word." Thanking the magician, Kamar said to the carpet, "Fly to Princess Parizade." The carpet flew with the speed of the wind, and a moment later set down in the great cavern where the evil genie Al-Ra'ad held the princess prisoner. "Ho, ho, ho!" taunted the genie. "A foolish mortal would rescue the princess? Run, thou small bug of a man, before I turn you to ashes." "I have a present for you, Al-Ra'ad," cried Kamar, to lull the genie's suspicions. "It's this rope." "From Salam." At the word Salam, the genie realized his danger. He opened his mouth to roar out the magic charm, but Kamar was too quick for him. The silver rope sped like a striking cobra and circled the neck of the genie. The monstrous spirit shrunk to a tiny dwarf, raging futilely in a high-piped voice. The magic carpet took them back to the palace, and floated in mid-air just outside the Caliph's window. Catching sight of them, Caliph Sharman threw up his hands, exclaiming, "I must be dreaming! My daughter, and Kamar, the gardener's son, and that tiny creature, all hovering in the air on a carpet!" Princess Parizade laughed happily. "We're real, father. Kamar, who is the most courageous man in the world, has saved me from this wicked genie." Crying with joy, the Caliph said, "Brave Kamar, you have won the Princess Parizade." So the gardener's son married the princess, and not many years later their children played on the garden paths, and often looked in wonder at the great jar that once had held a genie. The end. Scenes created by Florence Thomas.